Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Captain Gaurav Rana, and welcome again to this webinar on career progression in professional commercial shipping, co-hosted by Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers and C and Beyond. I have a poll. While maybe a few more people join in, let's take a quick poll, which should be in front of your screen. There are two questions to the poll. Can you see the presentation? And the second is, where did you hear about the webinar from? So it'll be great if you answer these two questions, and immediately after that, we will start the webinar, please. Just so that everyone knows, we will be recording the webinar and we will share the recording. We will put it on YouTube and we'll share the link to everyone as well later on. So I'll look for a lot of participation in this. We'll have a lot of poll questions coming in. I see about 83% of you who have voted. I look forward to a few more people to vote, so there's more engagement with the participants. Right, then we have a good participation on the polls, and good to see everyone can see the presentation, and a lot of people have come through LinkedIn and and email, and then a few from the word via word of mouth through friends. So good to know, and welcome again to this webinar. I'm Captain Gaurav Rana and I run C and Beyond. With me, I have Captain Ashok Gogia, who's the chairman of ICS Mumbai branch. Welcome to the webinar, sir. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for taking out time. And my colleagues Gaurav Kullu and Smita, who will help me in coordinating for this webinar. And thank you, everyone. Saturday afternoon, you've taken out time to come and watch this webinar. The agenda of this webinar is essentially we'll be talking about giving you an context, an overview of Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers history, their goal and commitment to global shipping industry, the various qualifications in ICS, eligibility criteria for ICS courses, what are the exams procedures, the fee breakdown, affiliation, the benefits which various people would have had, and the Q&A session, wherein we'll take all your questions. So that's how we'll go about in this particular webinar. Why CN Beyond does all these webinars is so that all of you can take a well-informed decision. A lot of information which people hear from a friend or a friend of a friend, but many a times that information may not be available directly from the source. And hence, what we do is we call people, dignitaries from the relevant association, relevant bodies, and request them to talk about their qualification, their initiative, and they will also take questions to clarify any doubts if any one of you have. So hence, Captain Ashok Gogia kindly agreed and came for this webinar. Captain Ashok Gogia is, of course, the chairman, as I said, chairman of Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers, Mumbai branch. He's had a lot of experience in running a agency, in running a broking house, and in delivering a lot of courses, lectures on commercial shipping and other subjects. So Captain Ashok Gogia is, of course, a seasoned master mariner as well. And I'll let Captain Ashok Gogia talk a little bit more about himself. And sir, over to you, wherein if you could tell us a little bit more about Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers, the context, the rich heritage they have, the kind of qualifications they have. So if you would um, like to kind of um, uh, tell us about that. And in the meanwhile, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the audience. I'll take a poll on how many of you know about Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers, and as per you, how many branches does ICS have? And while we take the poll, Captain Ashok, over to you, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gaurav. I really appreciate you have summarized my whole career in 5 or 6 sentences. Yes, you covered up practically everything. So, to first tell you about myself, I am a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers, and that is the Mumbai branch only. I have been very active in ICS ever since I cleared my exams, which was in 2007 or 2008. Uh, yes, so it's almost about 20 years, and I have been attending their meetings in all over the world. That's globally what they address as controlling council meeting. It is similar to the annual general meetings which companies have. Here they call it the controlling council meeting. In the controlling council meeting, they also have the executive committee, executive committee which advises the controlling council. Controlling council is the final. So I've been very active in taking part in all the meetings throughout the world. And I attended the last 2 years also, and this year also I plan to go. Now, that is about myself. I have also been experienced in agency work, in training, as well as in fixing vessels independently. What that means is that I was not associated with any company. I was not working for any company. I individually did it, which I was rather fortunate. I would not say that I'm smart. I was just fortunate because it lay on a platter in front of me and it worked out. So, having said that about myself, I would also like to tell you that I'm currently also in training. I train people for the ICS exams. I train people for, their SMS, which is ship maneuvering simulator, which I'm connected to one of the government-approved institutes. Yes, for me it's a busy day, but always it's a pleasure to work with Gaurav, and that's about myself. Now, Gaurav, when you tell me, I can start talking about ICS profile and the function, the highlights, and the Mumbai chapter, if your
Sure.
poll is complete.
We've taken a poll, and let me end the poll and share the results with everyone. So just so that everyone, sir, and also for your information, I think 11% of the people are sitting for the exams this year. So 8 of them are sitting for the exams. Rest of the other persons have maybe not heard, or they are a bit aware about the benefits and about what ICS is. That's the summary of the first question of the poll. And I think the second poll was, how many branches does ICS have worldwide? I think the majority answer is 28 is what people have given, and then is 10. I think in your own presentation, you will probably cover that up as well. And yeah, I think I said over to you, Smita. You may stop sharing the slide right now, and we can have Captain Ashok on the screen then.
Yes. Smita, can I put out this? Okay, good. Uh, I think another poll has come up which says about the rank.
Right. I'll just so that everyone knows and we know what kind of audience is there. So let me take that poll as well.
Yes, please.
So there are four options. Are you a mariner at working at management level, mariner at a mid-management support, a non-mariner at a management or a support level, and a student. So just so that we all know about each other, what kind of people are there in the audience, so that Captain Ashok, when he speaks about various things, he's also aware and then he can customize his answer as per the audience. Good engagement, guys. We've got about 82% of you who have voted. 83. Great. All right. So 1 minute is done. So I'm going to end the poll and sharing the results. So 51% of the audience are mariners working at management level. 31% are mariners working at mid-management support level. Then 9% are non-mariners at mid-management support level. 7% are students, and then are non-mariners working at management level. So that's the audience which we have, sir. It's an August audience, and thank you everyone for joining us. Over to you now, Captain Ashok, for your presentation.
Okay, thank you once again, Gaurav. Yes, we start off. Now, the first thing which I would like to start off with is the ICS profile. What is ICS? What is the profile? What are they engaged in? And how do they want to go about their professional, the professional commercial training worldwide? Now, the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers is one and only internationally recognized professional body for commercial shipping worldwide. It has helped the industry raise professional and it has helped the industry raise professionally and not only in the local areas but globally. See, we have to go back in the history a little bit. This kind of institute was actually launched in 1911, and then it got the Royal Charter. A Royal Charter is something which is given by the royal family, that it has been recognized by the royal family, and then they give grants. So that was in 1920. So going back, if it has been there, it's almost about 105 years it has been in existence. They have about 27 branches worldwide, globally, and they are in the process of increasing a lot more. They want to do a lot more. The idea behind this is that the membership roster currently stands at more than 4,000, and then there are companies which are members of ICS. Since it's been supported by the royal family, it's got a lot of industries which also want similar kind of recognition, and there are 120 companies, mainly British or European, which are connected to the royal family. But worldwide, where they have their branches, we have got 120 company members. That means that somebody or the other who's at the head of that particular company, he might be a member by clearing the exams, or he might be an honorary member. So it's a recognition that is given, and once anybody who's cleared this qualification of an ICS, there is almost instant recognition. Every commercial shipping company has at least one or two, maybe I mean, if it's a small company, but if it's a big company, you will definitely have at least maybe about 10 or 15 of people who are qualified as MICS or FICS. I'll explain that to you later on, but for currently, let me tell you what is the core function of this. A major provider of education and training related to the shipping profession. See, uh, the august audience that is present over here, I would like to say there are a lot of people who are ex-seafarers. Like we had almost about, I think we had 51% of people who are ex-seafarers, and they already know the basic things about shipping. But the point is this: the first option most of the seafarers have is that they want to go into the office and they want to do manning. It's a common thing. There's nothing biased about it, but the fact is it's an easy access. However, people, when they are at sea, a lot of times they do this kind of a professional training, and then they have better avenues open to them. A lot of avenues have opened, and I have seen, in fact, my batchmates and even some of the people who I have trained at an entry level have reached places like shipping companies in Dubai or companies in Bombay, which are very, very well known, broking houses, and they are doing well. Now, it is responsible for setting and examining the syllabus for membership. Your membership is only and only, unless you, of course, you are a big shipping magnate and it's an honor to take you, it is only and only by clearing the exams. Now, if it is clearing by exams, obviously you have already reached a certain status. It will be very simple to understand for the seafarers, because where seafarers are concerned, they are in that position because they have cleared a certain level of examination, certain level of qualification, and a certain level of experience. So that is what it is. Now, uh, provides the global shipping industry with a continuous flow of knowledgeable, talented, and highly qualified shipping professionals. ICS, what is the Mumbai chapter about? What is the Mumbai chapter about? Here we say, tell you, I am there. It has been there for quite some time. I think middle of between 1995 to 2000, it actually was listed in Bombay, and there was a company called Parekh Marine that was managing it. Then it was taken over by Samsara, and I joined it in 2005, 6. I joined them, and then I cleared everything by 2007, and I've been with them in the managing committee since that time. Samsara was there, and they continued the thing till it came time for them to hand over the reins. And now I took over year before last, and honestly, we have covered a lot of mileage. We have made people very, very aware of what we are, and more than that, it is the encouragement which we are getting from the industry. It is the support that we got from the industry. We have prepared a few seminars which were not online. They were not online. Reasons being, we wanted the persons to come and see and showcase ourselves. So we had two of them. One was at the Shipping Corporation of India head office, where we felicitated the current chairman, managing director, Captain Tyagi, who is also a seafarer, and he's a fellow. We felicitated him as a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers. Second, we did it at IRS, where we joined hands with the World Maritime Organization and a Nautical Institute and ourselves. And honestly speaking, the support and the encouragement we got and the sponsorship which we got was, it wasn't a very big amount, but it was very, very positive. So now we are also planning to have the next one, which will be as a recognition and an award-winning ceremony, which should take, and you will all be informed about the dates. To tell you a little more about the ICS Mumbai chapter, it is an opportunity for most India-based shipping professionals to access a modern industry is relevant and with the modern and a world-class education, training syllabus, and to use the knowledge thus gained to emerge as a well-informed and a business-ready shipping professionals capable of playing a crucial part in shaping the Indian maritime industry. So that is what I had to tell you about the ICS in the background. One word I would like to tell you, that you can have an academic qualification. Yes, I fully respect that. A lot of people are PhDs, doctorates, extra masters. People have done a lot of studies. If they're inclined towards the academic part, it's excellent. However, people who have done extra masters also, when we sit and talk to them, they say working in the office with an extra masters does not get an extra mileage. However, when you're working in an office, even in a manning office, the knowledge you gain by an ICS qualification is a lot more. They can't quantify it in numbers, but they do say that it gives you the ground reality, what is happening in the shipping industry. So having said that, I think I have explained to you about the profile, my position over here, and what does Mumbai branch do. Now I will open it to the house. If somebody has any questions, please feel free before I start the PowerPoint presentation.
Just limit the questions only to ICS context. I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions, and sir is gonna talk about more about the qualifications and all, and those questions will be answered in the due course. Um, let's
Sorry.
yeah.
Anything regarding your doubts or the knowledge from where you got it, or you have spoken to people who have done the qualification, how much time it took, what was the experience, how were the papers, how was the feeling after they actually got qualified. Anybody over here, if you have spoken to any of the qualified ICS qualified people. Nobody? Any questions for that matter, gentlemen?
Sorry, the questions will come on later on.
Okay.
Let's do.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Let's.
Yes.
Smita, you can share the slide. Okay, you've got Sunendran. Yeah, go ahead, Sunendran.
Yeah, hi, sir. Just want to ask, does it give us an edge? Like, if we clear the exam of ICS and we want to enter into the commercial shipping, and does it give us the edge, while we are applying for the companies? Like, we have this qualification and they give us the preference.
Sure. I think we'll probably, sir can answer it in a couple of seconds, maybe 10 seconds or so. But we have people who have qualified, who have got jobs after doing this qualification. We'll take it at the end. So maybe we'll just continue on the flow once. And if sir wants, we can address this now. But I'm sure there will be a lot of questions at the end coming in. And while sir speaks about this, I'll take one poll on how many qualifications do you feel that ICS has? And Smita, you can go to the next slide and sir could take it from there.
Yes, I will just 5 seconds on the answer. Mr. Grover, what I would like to say, there are companies, shipping companies, who want at the entry level, you have to have some kind of a commercial qualification, and the preferred qualification is an ICS qualification. And we also have a career page on our ICS website where companies are posting, the requirements which they have. Yes.
Right. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Smita, you can make this slide. You can populate this slide. And meanwhile, we've got people who have answered to the question on how many type of qualification does ICS have. So about 50% have said 3, and the rest 35% don't know, and then we've got 14% and 3%. So that's the answer which we have, and sir will talk more about the qualifications in the next few minutes. And sir has a slide as well. Smita, you can share the slide, please. You can start sharing the slide. Yeah, you can populate this full slide. Go on the next one, so this full slide gets populated. Yeah. Sir, over to you now.
Okay, thank you once again, Gaurav. Yes, we will go over the qualifications which you can have. The first and the foremost at the basic entry level is what is called a foundation diploma. Smita, can you please, or should I put it off myself? Okay, yeah, right. Okay, the first and foremost is a foundation diploma. What is a foundation diploma? Anybody who likes to know about shipping and wants a qualification attached with it, it is an ideal for the candidates with the little industry experience. What would that mean? You see, there's a lot of support staff these days. The whole shipping industry has people who are one way or the other connected to shipping, not necessarily chartering, not necessarily, ship owning or sale and purchase. There is a whole lot of various kind of avenues in which shipping is. It is one of the silent industry that is supporting the world economy, but it is not, people are not aware of it. The very fact that you're sitting on the table and you've got a computer in front of you, probably it has been the shipping industry that has been involved in putting and assembling the whole thing together to put it in front of you. So what are the kind of qualifications which you can have? There's a foundation diploma. I'll go through the subjects later on, but right now I want to tell you that there is a foundation diploma. What is a foundation diploma? A foundation diploma is awarded to candidates who successfully clear what is known as introduction to shipping. A person who's absolutely a layperson who has some uncle, aunt, mama, somebody on your connected to shipping, even if it is stevedoring, even it is just loading and discharging, and they want to formalize the whole thing and they have a little idea about it, they have to do what is known as introduction to shipping, and one specialized from group 2, any one subject from group 2. Now a specialized subject would mean dry cargo, ship operation, sale, ship sale and purchase, tanker chartering, liner trades. Liner trades are basically, most of the time, they are not, they're container trades which are across the globe. However, you have a lot of coastal trades, you have a lot of barging and discharging, then port agency, logistics, port and terminal management, offshore support industry. Then people who are interested in the academics, there's a shipping law, there is the marine insurance, shipping finance, legal principles, and shipping business, economics of sea transportation and international trade. So you have a whole lot of variety. Introduction to shipping is important because that is the base, the base which tells you, if you have the basic knowledge as to not only a ship but the port and the agencies and the sale and purchase and the chartering, the basic knowledge, it is there. So introduction is important and all the others just follow. Ideal for people with little industry experience but would like to gain practical knowledge and a sound qualification. So basically it's for people who are at the threshold of a career. Threshold of a career means that they are just want to get into shipping but they do not know what to do. So yes, we can guide them based on their experience, but they have the choice of introduction, which is very important, and then pick any of these subjects which will definitely help them to understand what shipping is all about. Next, please. Peter, can I have the next slide, please? Yeah, okay. Then after that, we have what is known as an advanced diploma. What is an advanced diploma? Designed as a stepping stone into full professional qualification and suits those who have some industry knowledge. Now, There are people, there's a support staff working in a shipping office, which they are handling the accounts, they are handling the daily disbursement, they're handling the port agency, they're handling the statutory requirements. Now, those people, if they want an advanced diploma, then what they have to do is they have to do shipping business. Shipping business is actually a mandatory course which everybody has to do it. Everybody has to do it. So that is what is called a advanced diploma. After you have done your shipping business, then you do any of the subjects which are there in the which are there in the optional subjects which are there in group 2. You do them, and then you can get a advanced diploma. Yes. Any questions?
So let's take questions at the end, because otherwise,
Okay.
people
Okay.
wouldn't know what is coming next. They might ask questions, what
Okay.
maybe speak.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Good. I agree with you. That so far so good. Okay. Next. Next slide, please. Okay. Yes. Now, what is PQE? PQE is the full form, which is on display. It shows professional qualifying examinations. Now, in a PQE, you have to do all the subjects in group 1. All the subjects in group 1, which are the introduction to shipping, legal principles, economics of sea transportation, and shipping business. So these are the 4 subjects you have to do, all 4 of them. Once you have done these 4 subjects in group A, then you go to group B. Can I see group B, please?
Mita, go to the next, press next.
Yes, there we go. So group B, what is group B, which I explained to you earlier also when we were talking about advanced diploma, that is group B. So what happens? Choose any 3 subjects in group 2 and 4 subjects in group 1. So it makes it a total of 7 subjects. It makes a total of 7 subjects. Now, once you have done the 7 subjects, the recommendation is that if you want to be you want to qualify as a dry cargo broker, you do dry cargo, then you do ship operations, because that is very important. It would be helpful if you did port agency. So that covers the 3 subjects which would be there in group 2. Similarly, it would happen with tanker chartering, or what they have, or they call tanker chartering. Then you like to know how the port is handled. So you do the port operations. And if you are also involved with the agency, so you do that. If you don't want to do this, then you want to get on the legal side, then it would be advisable that you do shipping law, marine insurance, and shipping finance. So it is a very well structured program which tells you in a direction in which you want to proceed. Right. So total subjects required are 4 plus 3. 4 in group 1, 3 in group 2. Total makes it 7. Next, please. Yeah. So as a summary, if you want to take a screenshot of this, please go ahead and take a screenshot. What it tells you about the foundation diploma, which I explained to you, the difference between foundation and advanced diploma is that in foundation, they tell you about the introduction to shipping, whereas in the advanced diploma, they tell you about the shipping business. The shipping business is important. That means you're already in the field, and then you want to further enhance your qualification. And PQE are, like we had mentioned, 4 and 3, but whatever you do in introduction to shipping, or that is the foundation diploma or advanced diploma, those credits are going to be carried forward if you decide to do PQE. So that is how you have to go about it. And if you are just interested in doing shipping business and qualifying yourself for any one particular field, as we have suggested, dry cargo, wet cargo, sale and purchase, port agency, liner trade, legal, anything. So that gives you enough avenue to know about the business of shipping as well as what area which you have mastered. Next, please. Okay, now we come to something known as exemptions. Exemptions are also there. Now, the exemptions, maximum exemption they can give you is for one subject, just one subject. I will also show you the list which follows later on, which tells you which are the subjects where you can get an exemption and a subject which you cannot get an exemption. Now, an exemption means basically if based on the professional or educational qualifications gained with the last 7 years and validated by the ICS head office. So we at our branch level cannot be supportive of your previous experience. Whereas when it comes to any kind of exemption which you want, it has to and it must go to the head office. You mention whatever qualifications you have, they try to verify at their end, and they are always like, India is a massive big country. When you go to other countries, they are so small compared to India. And in India, every state has their own qualifications. They have their own education system. They have their own universities, and they also have the deemed universities. So having said that, they need to verify, then they will ask us to further endorse their decision. So it's a long process. And when it is required, I will proceed on the next line, reviewed and granted by ICS London. I mentioned that. The exemption fee 202425 is £195. Now, all payments are in GBP, and all payments, I'll explain to you later on, are directly made to UK. We do not do any kind of transaction in cash, other than if it is required by the local branch, by the sponsors, or if it is required for us to promote our business, for which also we get our reconciliated amounts from UK. So if anybody at any stage is guiding you or misguiding you about payments in Mumbai office in any form, unless if you are a multinational and if you are a sponsor, then you're more than welcome to, you get the due recognition and credits. But other than that, let me be very honest with you, there is no cash, no money, no funds transaction in Mumbai. All your admissions, registrations are done with London directly, and your payments are also with London. Okay. Now let's proceed. The exemption for 202425 195 per subject. Contact ICS administration for deadline and more details. Exemptions for a maximum of 3 subjects. Now I'll tell you, I got an exemption of 3 subjects because I had at least 20-25 years of sailing experience as a master mariner, and I had cleared some of the exams with distinction. So that is the reason I did get an exemption. Total was 7 papers, but I had to do only 4. But because I was interested in shipping, I did 2 extra. After I had got my membership, I cleared 2 extra. So that is the keen interest which I had. Now, if you are qualified to that extent, they might give you a 3 subject exemption, but just having a master mariner certificate gives you maximum of 1 exemption. Now, going back further, if you're doing shipping, there's no exemption in shipping business whatsoever. No exemption for foundation diploma subjects. No exemption for advanced diploma subjects. No decision or exemption on ICS Mumbai branch level. Now, what does that mean? That means that if you are doing a foundation, there is no exemption over there. You have to do introduction to shipping and you have to sit for one of the subjects. Similarly, there is for advanced also, you have to do shipping business and then you have to do one of the subjects of your choice. We do not take any decision in Mumbai. You have to let us know. In case we have to follow up, you can let us know. But it is straight from UK. Evidence of qualification is a form of certificates required, transcripts, and may be required for requested for clarification. Exemption once granted and paid for is valid until the completion of the qualifying exam. Now, yes, let me go to the next one. I will tell you, then I'll have to come back on this. Exemption considered only for following: introduction to shipping, economics of sea trade, marine insurance, shipping law, shipping finance, port and terminal management, logistics and multimodal transportation, ship operations and management, offshore support industry. So just for your information, I would like to also share I was not I was not given exemption on economics of sea transport and international trade. I was not given, though I tried very hard, I was not given. So I had to do it. I had to do shipping business, economics of sea trade, dry cargo chartering, and port operations. So I had to do that. After that, I did port AI agency as well as I did tanker chartering. So my point I'm trying to tell you that it is their call, it is their decision. You can put in your papers, you can put in your previous qualifications, your experience, or if you have been in a position where you have been involved in academics, you can mention that. But honestly, the final decision is from you. Next, please. Okay. Now, everybody, please pay. Please, this is very important for those who are keen in the examination and they want to sit for it. It is a descriptive type of exam. What does descriptive type means? Means there'll be questions and you have to write answers. These days, what they have, the modern way of examining you is more like the poll which Gaurav has been taking. Like I also take exams, and now the system is by doing on a computer-based exams, which is called exit exams, and they give you multiple choice questions. They give you multiple choice questions. Out of 4, you have to answer one, which they do feel that if they give you a choice of 4 and you pick on one, you know what you're talking about. You know what you're talking about. In a descriptive time, people might fill up pages and pages and pages and yet might not hit the key point which the examiners are looking for. Recently, there was an evaluation and I got some kind of mails which people have not been managed to clear the paper. They said we wrote 3 pages on each question, but we still did not manage to pass. My point I'm trying to tell you, it is better to hit the nail on the head and address the question which the examiner is asking rather than displaying the knowledge which you have gained throughout the paper. In fact, honestly speaking, I also go and do a bit of an inspection during the examinations, and I get a little bit of a glance of how people are answering the papers. Some of the people's papers, they do ask you questions. So you do get to see the answers, and some of them, after putting 4 pages or 5 pages, they say we don't know what we have to write. So now I used to attended it in November. Now the results have come out. I'll go through the list and I will come to know whether in the 4 pages or 5 pages did they write the answers to the point and they cleared, or they did not address the question which they were being asked. So this is all by experience which we get. Now, each paper lasts 3 hours. It starts at 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30. 12:30 a paper gets over. Then 12:30 to 1:30 is a break. Then 1:30, 2:30, 3:30. Or I'll check the timings once again. So that is what they are, 5 out of 8 questions. In some cases, they may be compulsory questions. Pass marks are 50, distinction is 80. So honestly speaking, if you have been keen in studying and you are also aware of what is going around in the world, where shipping is concerned, you see with the Google and with the Chat GPT and with the knowledge that is available, I'm actually speaking, I'll be honest with you, I'm quite hungry for knowledge, whatever it may be, whether it's politics, whether it is a shipping business, whether it is any kind of knowledge. Human nature is such that you want to know what is happening. So if you turn towards shipping and write down in your answers more about the current affairs, not only about the book knowledge as to what is happening. I remember in my days we had the tsunami, and I managed to write something about that. And it was excellent, it went off quite well, because that was the current situation. And how was the shipping affected? How was the shipping world affected by the tsunami, which had hit Indonesia, south of India, and it keeps happening? And how was shipping? How did shipping and the logistics take a turn? Did the freights go up? Did they go down? So what I'm trying to say, keep in touch with the ground reality, what is happening. Next, please. Smita, can I please have the next slide? Okay. How do you prepare? How do you prepare for these exams? There are books. There are books available. There are lots of books that are going around, and you can always try to outsource them. Then there's student support sessions about 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the exam at the ICS office. We also sit anybody who wants to come, or you can write to the office if there are any question. If we have the time, we can write them back to you. Or what happens that there's a group discussion that goes on, webinars, which of course Gaurav has been very, very well experienced in it, so he can do that. And there are prep sessions. We also conduct online and offline tutorship subject-wise. That means if you are doing dry cargo chartering, we focus only on dry cargo chartering, and we handhold you and take you through it. If you're doing tanker chartering or sale and purchase or whatever it is, we handhold you and we take you. And then, of course, it is very good for you because you now managed to get. We will always discuss the previous question papers also, which are there on the website. Then C and Beyond, which is the recognized partner. C and Beyond, the recognized partner. There's also a certificate course which is known as Understanding Shipping, which was launched from the Middle East branch, but I'm absolutely sure C and Beyond can guide you and handhold you and take you throughout. And there are webinars which are held, and there are also webinars which are held from the Middle East branch, which is Dubai branch, ICS ME. And they are very, very, I mean, they are qualified people over there, and you can gain a lot. My point, what I'm trying to say, that if you're hell-bent on knowing about the shipping, the sky is the limit and even beyond. Then shipping magazines, please go on the net. I will, if required, I can also guide you which other magazine, which other websites. In fact, they are so proactive now that all you have to give them is your email address, and they send it to you. They send you what is happening in the world of tanker chartering, dry cargo chartering, sale and purchase, demolition. It is unbelievable, ships that have been laid up, ships which are which are on sale. So there are magazines which actually send you every Thursday or Friday. They send you a brief. Go back. Yeah. Then we have current events affecting shipping, like India. Every month, on an average, there's 1 or 2 events that are happening. You can either, some of them are free also. Like both the sessions which we had were absolutely free. Get yourself listed at ICS Mumbai branch, and we will invite you so that it showcases what we are doing. In Mumbai, it is and ICS examinations, they always look for what you have about the local knowledge, what is happening, which is the new port that is come up, which is what is happening with the new vessels that are coming up. Are they the 5th generation container vessels? Have they started coming in India? What is the draft? Can they come to Mumbai? Can they come to Adani port? Can they come to Chennai? And if not, why not? So these are the things which you have to keep in touch. Current affairs affecting ship, which also come in the regular newspapers. Then you come to the market reports. I've already mentioned market reports. If you are slightly keen in it, there's no shortage of market reports. In fact, there's a shortage of people who want to read them. There's sufficient market reports. Next, please. Student registration, you have to register yourself. Let me tell you, a registration year which starts in September, this academic year starts in August, September of 2024, and it ends with the examinations which are going to be in May 2025. Your registration is valid for 1 year, and in this 1 year, you have to sit for the exams. And there are two things. One is the student registration, and then there is an exam registration. Exam registration, of course, it is there for per paper, which you have to pay, whereas the student registration is there for 1 year. Forms in www.ics.org.uk or by email from the branch. Please write to us. We'll be more than willing to share it with you. We've got a dedicated girl over there, which I'll tell you later on also, but her name is Valerie. She is very, very active. And in fact, she is proactive and she helps answers all your questions. Complete forms to be sent by email to the branch or registered directly with ICS UK. Even if you send it to us, we have to send it to them. Very clean, straightforward, and a systematic method. Then payments are, you can note these down. Robert Hill at ics.org.uk, he's the director. Now, this company, this full organization is run professionally. I am as a volunteer only. I'm a volunteer. All the branches are run by the professionals in the sea trade, in the shipping industry, and like the chairman, secretary, all my management team are all volunteers. The people who are actually running the management show, they are on a pay. That means the director is paid and my support staff is paid. This M stands for the M Kubalova. She's Maria Kubalova at ics.org. She's the person who's handling the accounts. When you write to her, you can either do a transfer, you can pay by credit card, or she will send you a link. I have been sending my payments by link, and it is very straightforward system which goes through without any problem. Next, please. Examination. ICS exams, dates and results. Okay, the results have come out. I have made a note of this. In November, we had total of 58. Total students who appeared all over India were 58. Out of that, 36 were from Mumbai. And now what happens, some people, what we take is by the number of people who are sitting for the exam rather than the registrations, because registrations last a year. So last year, the people who sat for the exam were 36, and the results have come out. And I haven't had time to go through all the results, but you can be sure the ones who have got that distinction or who have done well, they will be awarded as we are preparing. We are already working on it with the industry, because the industry actually wants qualified people from us. We are working with the industry, and then what we will do is that we are going to have a day when we are going to honor the people who have cleared the exams. It will be an award-winning celebration and a night. And during the day or the day before that, we have our AGM also. So it's all connected, so that it starts with work and then we end it with a celebration and with all the awards which we get. It will be announced, and you'll be definitely told about it once you have registered. Then second examination, yeah, May 12th, the examinations are starting till 22nd. Like I said, 9:30, 12:30, it continues. I do make at least 2 or 3 visits. The last day of registration is 10th April. For those who have to do it, who are planning to sit for it, you have 2 months of studies ahead of you. Plus, you have got, you can only register, you can register till the 10th of April. That means you can make up your mind. And in the month of March, if you start studying, March you study, April you study, and then in the month of May also it starts on the 22nd. So actually speaking, somebody who's keen in doing it, there's sufficient time and sufficient guidance and sufficient interaction which you want to do with us, or if you want to do with the head office. So like I've mentioned this earlier, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, and then 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. Results, like the 20th results have come out, 21st the results will come out. Now, the exams are held at MTI, that is Maritime Training Institute, which is at the Shipping Corporation of India in Powai. We have a support staff over there. Let me also tell you, if you want, there's a canteen over there. You can advise them if you want to have food, they can arrange that for you. Food also, because the canteen is far away from the city. Sometimes it becomes difficult to go and come back within that 1 hour. Some people bring their own food or they're happy with the canteen food, which is also fairly nutritious. So you can have it, because I did some courses over there when the exams were going on, and it was very helpful. Next page. Okay, yes, the most interesting one, that is the fee, the fee. So like I said, you have an annual fee. The annual fee means it starts off in August, September of the year, and then it continues till June of the next year. So that is when you want to register yourself, it's £142. Direct payment to London. Examination fee per subject is £179. Exemption fee is GBP 195. No, exemption fee. That means, like I mentioned to you earlier, the cost of an exemption is higher than the cost of the exam, which you have to sit for. Reasons being that when either you study and you put in your hard work, or you make the office study your exemption papers. Since they have to involve more than 2 people or 3 people, and the local office and the local branches, so that is the reason why the exemption is higher. So it's for you to balance out, what do you feel comfortable. If you feel by studying you're going to gain knowledge also and it is cheaper, fine. If you don't have the time to do the extra studies, and you feel that you rather devote your time on something else, what you can do is just pay for it, and then we relieve that you already got an exemption, but you have to give the papers. Deferment fee. What is deferment? If somebody wanted to sit in the month of November, but for some reason, maybe because of the family, maybe because of certain emergencies, they cannot do it. They can do it the next time, but they have to pay 65. Price per subject book is £100, additional courier charges. Now the books are there, they are for £110 each. Now the other interesting thing which I have to tell you is that the early bird price, which is called the early bird discount, is, instead of paying for £179, you can pay £108. That would pay £108. That means that there is a discount. There's a discount of almost £71. Yeah, that's 71, no? 71 plus, yeah. So what happens is that since there is a discount over there, if you decided to sit for 2 papers or 3 papers in November, and then you can sit for the same, wait for your results if you're confident or whatever it is, you get sit for the next paper in May. You have to do a booking in the previous academic year, when the academic year starts. So just keep that in mind. Right now, for people who are getting the information now and they want to sit in the month of May, there is no early bird discount. We are working on it. We are working on it. I've already told them that we have seminars and webinars till, almost till the beginning of March. So people who get to know, and if they're interested, they are at a disadvantage because they can't get the discount which people had got it earlier. So yes, we'll be discussing it in the next Controlling Council meeting, and let's see how it goes. But as things stand currently, if you want an early bird discount, you have to pay for it in August or September of the year, and then the discount will also be applicable to the papers which you are sitting for in the month of May next year. Good. Note, to pass a professional qualifying examination, attain MIC credentials, all relevant subjects must be completed within 5 years from the first exam taken. So this is very, very interesting, and it is very, very advantageous, especially for seafarers. if they have sat for some papers, now you have a window period. I have at least 3 or 4 students of mine currently who are seafarers. They are seafarers. They have come, and in between time they are going to sit for the exams, and they will go. We've tutored them. Then they will be going, and then they will make sure they make the sea trip, and they are here for the November exam. And honestly speaking, I'll be very honest with you, it is your total true dedication and the sincerity by which you work and the time you devote that you can clear these exams. Gaurav, can you please take over for 5 minutes? I've got a call from the vice chair.
Sure, sir. Right. Smita, can you move forward? All right. So you've got an understanding about the cost involved. You've got an understanding about the courses and the qualification. Now the next step is you familiarize yourself with the syllabus. How will you know the syllabus? There are you can of course see it from online on the website. You'll have a look at it. You can purchase books of ICS. So that's how you will familiarize yourself with the syllabus. For the past exams paper, you can download them from the website. If you want any support, we at CNBeyond can also help you by giving you the set of examination papers which we have from before. Choose the subjects, right? Now, choosing of subject is a very personal decision. It depends. Some people may want to choose a subject which you are good at. Some would choose a subject which you may be okay at, but where you would like to learn a little bit more. And yeah, I think Captain Ashok is back, and he'll probably help you in what he suggests in terms of choosing the subject for your qualification. Over to you, sir.
Yes, Captain Gaurav, thank you very much for filling in because that was a call, it was from the head office. So, yes. Now let us break it down. Let's break it down. There are candidates who are absolutely new in shipping. If you're absolutely new in shipping and you have somebody who has guided you that shipping is booming and things are getting better, so get into it. It's a profession for life. So they are absolutely fresh. For them, like we have mentioned earlier, it is good to go for a foundation diploma. We can definitely help you. We can definitely help you what papers you want to sit for. Then there are the others who have got a knowledge about shipping. They are working in the shipping offices, but they are not too comfortable with the terminology, with the way things are working, or they are seafarers who know. I mean, they're practically experts in ship operations, but when it comes to the commercial side, they are lost for words. Even in my time, my sea career, honestly, I wanted to avoid, and commercial used to become very complicated for me. The final decisions are always taken from the office, but you would still like to know your opinion. And if you have got the knowledge and you can share your opinion, it's advantageous. So that is the second type. First type, people are absolutely fresh. Second type, people have part knowledge. They're working as support staff, or they are seafarers who want to get qualified because it helps in getting a placement assured. The third are the people who are absolutely at a senior level. However, there are others who have learned this experience, who have learned this. Gaurav, just for 1 second, Mr. Krishnan would like to join, so please let him in.
Sure, will do.
Sorry, gentlemen, everybody who's attending, sorry about that. Okay, so I was telling you, they are the people who are seniors in the sense they have been in the shipping business for some time, and they want to join. They want to basically enhance their knowledge. It is happening. It is documentation. They're doing it. They've been asking people in the office to do it, but what is the reason behind it? So then there are people who are doing it. So all three of them, let me tell you, it's a very fruitful qualification which holds you good for the life. When I came back ashore, I was basically into operations. I was doing manning, and but I was always keen to know more. And honestly, the knowledge that it gives you is unbelievable because they are streamlined. They are focused on specific subjects. There's a generic, there are generic knowledge, generic qualification available all over. But here, the qualification is specific. That means it is dry cargo, wet cargo. Like, if you are talking to any shipping company or to any broker and you have a friend, you say, oh, I want to know something about tanker chartering. He says, well, you're talking to the wrong person. You have to go to the person who is involved in tanker chartering. Whereas in India, a lot of people are very generic about it. And I really appreciated and admired that because you better be good at one thing and be an expert rather than being involved in 3 4 different subjects, having bits of knowledge of all, like jack of all trades. It's better to be a master of one. Now, there is a LinkedIn which is very active. In fact, the offices are active. Instagram, I think Gaurav is very active in Instagram. Then we have head office website is there. We've got a local website also, so which I've shown it to you earlier. So these are the next steps. Next slide, please. Okay. Where do you hold the examinations? We hold them at the MTI, Maritime Training Institute, which is the main examination center. The moment we have more than 5 or 6, maybe 4 or more sitting for a paper, we go to MTI. Otherwise, we have a good conference room in the office, which we are sharing an office with what you people would like to know. It is an office of seven island shipping, and we are sharing their office in the sense that we've taken a portion of that office on lease, and they share. They're very, very cooperative, and they share their space with us. Then the results over the last 3 4 years, they have been very impressive, and we would encourage you to take it very, very serious. And 90%, whatever tutorship we can do, we will help. But honestly speaking, you are the one who's answering the papers, and you have to know this stuff. International prizes and distinctions. Let me tell you that one candidate in the last meeting I had was was in London, but the candidate who got distinction was from Calcutta, and they invited him to UK, and they awarded him. It was a very proud moment for Indians. Mumbai branch, like I mentioned earlier, is trying to conduct a prize giving ceremony. We will do it, and we'll honor all the people who have actually worked so hard to get this qualification. Next, please. Yeah, this is the website. Please take a screenshot if you want. Both the websites are there. ics.org.uk, icsmumbai.in. So please take a note of it if you want. One more thing I would really like you to do. Please go through the ICS website. It is fantastic. They've done it there. There used to be certain information which were lacking earlier, but over the meetings which we have held and we've interacted and we have discussed with them, it is very, very, very informative and very user friendly. At the click of a button, you get information like most modern websites are. Next, please. Myself, Chairman of ICS Mumbai branch, Captain Ashok Gogia, email captainashokgogia@gmail.com, number 98212-18469. Valerie, who's in the office, I would prefer, if it is a generic question, then you please talk to Valerie first. Because what she does is that she briefs me, and then I'm in a position to answer a query. C and Beyond is a recognized partner. You can contact Sumeeta, any assistance, any help you want. Sumeeta is there. Or honestly, I think Captain Gaurav and Captain Gaurav Kulu, they are both very, very helpful and very, 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 supportive of whatever you ask. Next. Next slide, please. Final thoughts, like mentioned, always my thing is this: I am here because of the persistence or determination. Basically, there's a very thin line between the two of them. All the same, you have to be devoted. You have to. What I used to do, that, yeah, I was working in a company, so I used to travel a lot, and I used to have these small books where I used to make notes. In those days, we didn't have phones, and we didn't. I mean, phones were there, but they were not of this level where you can click a button and get the information. So I had these small notes where I used to make notes, and that used to help me understand even when I'm on the move. So that was, that helped me. Yes, need for the. Sorry, 1 second. Hello. Yeah, I'll talk later. So, like I said, the need for development, final thoughts, key takeaways, your goals. Your persistence is the most important thing. Everything else follows. You should ask yourself that whatever you're doing at that time, will it help me get my qualification which I'm aspiring for? Need for development, yes. Real key to success, persistence, networking, ICS next steps. I've explained a lot of them to you. Then there is what is determination. Actually, most of the people have their own keywords which inspire them to go ahead. Either it's somebody else who you look up to, or you have some kind of a goal which you want to achieve, and there's a price to pay. Nothing comes free. There's a price tag attached to everything, but it's good if you. And here the price tag is determination and persistence. Next. Smita, can I have the next slide, please? Thank you. That's all from my side. Wish you all the best. Now we are open to questions. Whatever you have, you can ask me. You can address the person who you want to ask the question. You can ask me. You can ask Gaurav. We are both open. So now, yes, I think.
Let me just, sir, uh, may I request, first of all, sir, thank you so much, Captain Ashok Gogia, for taking out time and giving us a absolute run through in detail about the entire process, the various qualifications, the costing for it, the support that is provided. I don't think at a public forum that's been done a lot in India, but thanks to your kind guidance and initiative that's happening right now. My request is to all of you, please write down the questions which you have. If everyone starts speaking, it may take a lot of time. I will moderate the questions. I will also ask various dignitaries to answer those questions. Also, I'm happy to tell you that we have Krishnan sir here in our meeting as well. Krishnan sir is the global vice chairman for Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers. And he's one of the key forces who've been at least inspiring me, helping me to help the industry more into the commercial shipping part, and taking ICS to a different level across the globe, right? And so what I will request now is, we've got Sumeet here. Sumeet is a chief engineer, and he is now working as a broker in Dubai. And he has also passed his PQE examination through ICS. Now, I will first take a poll, and let me just sorry, I'll just relaunch this poll, and then I will 1 second. Okay. Or anyway, I'm not able to take this poll, but I've got Sumeet with me. I will request Sumeet to kind of, go through his journey as to how he is, if he found the ICS qualification useful, how did he prepare for the exams, but more on the usefulness. I will then have Krishnan sir talk more about the benefits of ICS. And then I have a young student who is still studying, who took all the 7 exams, he passed through, Dev, and I'll ask him to go through his journey, maybe 3 to 4 minutes each one, and then we will take the questions. A lot of your questions may be answered when all three of them speak, but nevertheless, I'll go through the questions and take them one by one. So, thanks, Sumit, for coming by, taking time off on a weekend, and telling your story. So over to you, Sumit.
Thanks, Captain Gaurav. Am I audible?
You are. Thanks.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Pleasure being here today for the webinar, and more than happy to share my experience with everyone that's part of the webinar today. So, my journey with the ICS started somewhere in 2023, when I was doing my research, and when I kind of had an idea that maybe in the next 1 or 2 years, I want to make a transition to a shore based job. But I was not clear whether it would be technical management or maybe commercial shipping. I had no clarity at that point of time. So that at that very moment, I was getting in touch with a lot of industry professionals in order to understand what would be best suitable for me, and that's when I came across the thought of doing the ICS certification. So as an engineer, I'm sure most engineers that are senior engineers who are now part of shore jobs, and Captain Gaurav as well, you would understand that there is this stigma around engineers that we cannot probably be a part of commercial shipping. I would like to personally say that there is no hard and fast rule that engineers cannot work in commercial shipping. Some very senior people from the commercial shipping industry, I think Mr. Jagmeet happens to be a chief engineer, and he's made a name for himself in the industry. So, taking inspiration from people like him and from the people I spoke to in the industry, I thought that the ICS qualification would be a perfect qualification for me to have on my CV when I start approaching people for sure opportunities. So that's when I started studying in 2023 with just about 3 months in hand, and I decided to go for all my papers at the same time. So there's 7 papers, and we get one exemption because of my sailing experience. I had one exemption, so I had to go for three compulsory and three optional. Compulsory, there was certainly no choice, so I had to appear for them. But out of the three choices, I chose the subjects that I was most interested in. So I knew that I can either go into technical management, which is being a technical superintendent, ship management basically, or come on the commercial side and probably become a tanker chartering broker, or get into ship sale and purchase as a ship sale and purchase broker. So my subjects were ship sale and purchase, tanker chartering, and ship operations and management. And introduction to shipping was I had an exemption for that subject. I appeared in the month of November 2023 for all the papers, and studied very hard. I would say to all the people here that if you really put in the right kind of efforts that we generally put in for our MMD exams, it's very it's not impossible. You can clear all the papers in one attempt, but it requires a lot of effort, and the right effort will definitely get you to the other line, to the end of the line. So I was successful in clearing all my papers. The results came out in February, and I was on board at that time, and I had planned my sailing in a manner that maybe if I'm not able to clear some of the papers, I can reappear for those papers in the month of May. But luckily for me, I was able to clear all the papers. And after coming back from sailing in June 2024, um, after taking like a break for a month, I started approaching companies in India and outside, of course, for opportunities in commercial shipping. And it definitely wasn't easy. So I would also like everyone to know that the ICS qualification is not, this is, I'm being very honest with everybody here, because this is my experience. It is not a sure shot stamp to get you a job. And you shouldn't come with this thought process in mind that I have a certification now and I'm definitely going to get a job. It won't, but it will certainly help people filter you out, and it will give you that edge that you need when you're seeking opportunities outside. And definitely you will get noticed if you have the certification attached to your CV, because this is something that happened with me, that after getting the certification, I was invited to the Mumbai ICS event, where I happened to meet, I would like to put this in public, that Mr. Krishnan Subramaniam, who happens to be the international vice chairman, I happened to meet him there, and I was in touch with him on LinkedIn. And he told me that, Sumit, you know what, you should, if you're pursuing something in a place like Dubai, maybe come to Dubai, and maybe be a part of these networking events that happen, conducted by ICS and maybe some other organizations. Come there, be seen by people that come over there, and speak to them, and maybe someone might offer something to you. I took his advice, and I have family here in Dubai, and I thought, okay, why not? I came to Dubai at an ICS event. I happened to meet another broker who, while talking to me, asked me to connect with one of his friends who has a company here, and who is also an ex broker. And he was a broker earlier. Now he owns the company and continues with being a shipbroker as well. So I happened to get in touch with this person, and within a span of 2 days, I was called in for an interview, and I was selected for the role, and I now work with them. I'm working with this company named Novo. They are independent shipbrokers, and I'm a tanker chartering broker now. So overnight, things changed for me. And while at the beginning it appeared like maybe I'm not getting the right kind of traction as far as commercial shipping is concerned, it ultimately landed me this job, and I'm happy being where I am today. And I'm glad I took this leap of faith. And I would certainly advise everyone to go ahead with the ICS certification, because it has helped me, definitely helped me. And one more example I would like to give: I was at a networking event where there were many people, and it's very normal for people to share cards, business cards. And when I happened to see the card of a certain gentleman who had come from Turkey, I saw the MICS written next to his name. And I said, "Oh, you're a member of the Chartered Shipbrokers?" "So am I. I don't have it on my card, but I am." And I met Mr. Subramaniam recently, and he immediately recognized Mr. Subramaniam. And the impact of my introduction as a member of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers was such that the gentleman took me along with him to introduce me to 8 other people that had come along with him from Turkey. That just to say that, this gentleman works here in Dubai, he's a tanker chartering broker, and we should talk. So it definitely helps you in getting noticed, and probably will play an important role in getting you the right kind of opportunities that you're seeking.
Thanks, Amit. Thanks, um, and very nice to see your journey. It, of course, a lot of people give exams and for various purposes, and they feel things will fall in place, they'll fall in the lap. That doesn't happen, right? You'll have to work yourself for it. And kudos to you for taking that step, going to Dubai, networking, and also to Krishnan sir, who's always guiding people and taking encouraging them to meet up, and then that's essentially what it at the end of the day it's all about. As they say, network is net worth, and
Absolutely.
that's where you're
Absolutely.
lying
And
on.
one more thing I would like to add is, to everyone these days, it's important to keep a network on LinkedIn as well. Talk to people, write to people, ask them for advice if you're interested in a particular field. Maybe some of them might not reply, but there will always be some people that will reply to you. I wrote to many people. Maybe I have written to 200, 300 people, but not all of them have replied. But some of them were very kind in responding and giving me the right kind of advice. So if you have a doubt, write to everyone. Maybe they might not respond instantly, but they will respond later to give you the right kind of advice, and be in the network of those people. Maybe after you clear your certification and you intend to come to a place like maybe Dubai or Singapore or maybe India itself, these are the people that are already in established setups, and they will remember, oh, we have spoken on LinkedIn, and you can then take it forward after that.
Thanks, Amit. Thank you so much.
Thank
um,
you.
Really appreciate your time. And let me now request Krishnan sir. Krishnan sir is here. He's traveling though, and he still took off the time to spend with us. And sir, if you can possibly in a few minutes tell a little bit more about the advantages for getting an ICS qualification, and then I'll have Dev come in and request him for how did he pass through the 7 exams that he's done for ICS. So over to you,
Thanks.
Krishnan sir.
Thanks, Captain. Am I audible?
You are,
Yes.
sir.
Sorry, I'm on the road in Kerala, so there could be disturbance. But quickly, first of all, well done for those who are here on this call and to know more about what the institute is about and how it can help you. With for some of you, it could be to jumpstart your career. For some of you, it could be to enhance your career and prospects, whether you're in India or looking to go abroad. Thanks, Sumeet, for sharing your story and very crisply put. And I really like what you said about, yes, getting the ICS is not a panacea. It's not a sure shot in terms of getting to where you want to go. However, it can really open doors. It's just like many of your graduates, postgraduates, you earn the degree, but still you have to put your effort in terms of your goals and the efforts required to get there. You really need to have a path. And as Sumeet rightly said, do not be shy to ask, do not be scared to ask. You have to continue to do that. I'm sure Sumeet is doing the same thing even after landing on the job. As a broker, it's not easy. That's not the end of the line. He has started from the one finishing line. He has gone into the start of another line with respect to his job, and that's where the network really helps. I would stop here, Captain Gaurav, and what I would like to do is that hear Dave's story, and then if we can summarize some of the questions which are there, and of course questions can always be answered offline as well. But any very burning questions, we can you can summarize and put it across to me. Be glad to help.
Sure, sir. Will do. Let me just have Dev also come in. And Dev, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Dev. Thanks for joining in. So, Dev is a current student at Gujarat Maritime University, and he chose to take all the 7 exams, and he's passed through in what we recently saw the results coming in. And this is, to all the people who are here who've been thinking of giving the examination and thinking if whether it's easy, difficult, they can do, cannot do. So a couple of things from you, Dev. How did you know about ICS and then chose to give these exams, and how much efforts did you essentially take for passing these examinations? So if you could quickly summarize that, please.
Thank you, sir, for giving this opportunity to share my journey. So, looking back, my journey was not that easy, as I was having a little exposure in shipping. I was just an commerce student who has pursued BCom, uh, and everyone knows that BCom does not require consistent studying. So I was exploring, and one of my well-wisher suggested me, Mr. Krishnaraj Lal from CG Shipping, to see this course and pursue it further. So shipping was not entirely new for me, as my grandfather was owner of country craft and tugboats, and he was also a custom agent. So shipping always fascinated me. So I saw the books and I was amazed that shipping has such vast knowledge. We have to the complexity is so huge. I thought shipping is just moving cargo from one place to another, but it is not that easy. It is way more complex than that. So I started ICS with my BCom, uh, attempted in 2021. appeared for shipping business and economics, failed in both exams due to lack of mentorship and experience. Uh, I was demotivated, but once again, Krishnaraj Lal has uh, met introduced me to Captain Rajiv Kumar, who helped me to who mentored me for both the exams, and I did well. Uh, I got distinction in economics of sea trade. Uh, then I was recommended by him to a ship management company. Then I joined the ship management company for 6 to 8 months, where I learned about the practical aspects. Then, then uh, as my father is a CA, BCom degree was not enough for him. So he recommended me to do MBA along with ICS. And then through GMU, I met Krishnan sir, Captain Gaurav Rana sir, who helped me to uh, ach- uh, co- helped me to pass the exams, guided me, supported me, and met me. So completing ICS got me three to 3.5 years. It was quite challenging, but it was a great learning, growth, invaluable connection I made. Each ICS subject taught me something valuable. Economics of sea trade helped me understand the derived demand concept of shipping, that it is the demand of the cargo which drives the demand of shipping. Shipping business introduced me to different types of vessels, concept of general average, port agency covered lay-time calculation, agents duties. Dry cargo chartering helped me to look into various charter party clauses, commodities, trade routes. Tanker chartering helped me in familiarize with me with world scale and tanker operations. So ICS, I would like to say, is an excellent platform which helped me to start my career in shipping and maritime trade. It provided me a in-depth knowledge with the industry. So that's it, and I have just cleared all the 7 papers.
All right, Dev. Now,
Captain Gaurav, if I can just add,
sure. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Dave, first of all, congratulations again.
Thank you.
So in fact, just to add to what Dave mentioned, I met this young, enthusiastic professional just a couple of months back in my trip to GMU in October. And I was giving the general session to all the students about career progression and about ICS, how it can help. It was only towards the end of the session that they walked to me and said, "Sir, I've already completed 5 papers." It was a pleasant surprise to hear that. So this was in last October. And then I asked him, "Okay, which papers are you appearing?" And he said, "Tanker chartering and dry cargo." I mean, believe me, that even for a working professional to take 2 papers of chartering in one go is a tall order. So I really appreciated, and immediately I asked him, "What help do you need?" So this is, I'm again coming back to this point. Please ask for help. Do not think that, okay, just even for those who have been working in this area for a couple of years, the ICS exam is a different cup of tea in terms of the type of questions, the answers which are expected. There is some guidance available on the website with the past papers. But coming back to Dave's story, and when the exam results were declared 3 days back, I didn't see his message because I was getting messages from various students uh, whomsoever probably I would have touched their lives or given some guidance. And then I messaged Dave, okay, Dave, what happened to your results? And he's quietly messaging, yes, I cleared both the papers. So more than him, I was relieved in terms of, first of all, his complete resilience to and the tenacity in terms of how we approach this whole thing. As you rightly mentioned, failure initially, many of you may encounter that, yes, but you have to take it in the right way. in terms of getting to the point of seeking guidance to ensure that you're addressing the questions properly. So thanks for sharing that, Dave. Over to you, Captain.
No, great. I mean, story. An amazing mentor, an enthusiastic student, and that's how it happens. And what Sir said, do reach out to people. That's very, very, very important. And what Sumit also mentioned, LinkedIn is a very good avenue on how you could reach out to people and possibly seek support. Not everyone will answer. Many are busy or what for whatever reason, but reaching out is important. Thanks everyone for all your comments, all your guidance. I will now start taking the questions, and I'll moderate the session from now on in terms of questions. um, I think there's one question which has been asked in different ways um, across the chat, and that's is ICS beneficial for persons from technical background? So there's one person who's an ETO who's asked. There's one person who's a third engineer. There's one who's a chief engineer who was asked. And while I'm assuming you were there, all of you, when Sumit answered that, shared his journey. He's a chief engineer and working as a broker in Dubai. Maybe if I can ask Subramaniam sir, Krishnan sir, to talk a little bit more about, we are marine engineers, but other than that, there might be, just people from the technical background. How does the industry look at people from the technical background as such, when they pass from, or the commercial industry look at people from the technical background, please?
Well, just to add what Sumeet already shared, I would say that do not have this particular notion in your mind. Do not put the restriction from your side. From the industry point of view, there is absolutely no restriction. But you would have to prove that with your goal of becoming a commercial person, what additional effort you have already put in. In case of Sumit, where he has already passed the ICS exam, and I'm sure that he would have done enough background reading and work even after the exams, because when you're being called for an interview, you have to be absolutely be prepared. You cannot just go with the knowledge what you have gained in the ICS as the only knowledge while going for an interview. So the quick answer to that from a industry point of view, there is really no restriction. There is no limit in terms of what a technical person can do on the commercial side. However, let me also give you an example, a live example, when I'm mentoring a student. She has already cleared part of the ICS papers. She is doing her MBA, and she is now being called for a first chief engineer assignment. She has already been sailing as a second engineer. And she just reached out to me 3 days back asking because she has been given an offer as a chief engineer on a dry bulk ship, whereas she wants ultimately be in the tanker trade. So she was asking me almost a similar question, telling that, oh, will my sailing experience in dry bulk be counted towards tanker trade? And what kind of jobs should I expect? Because she's going to do a balance of 2 papers of the ICS in November this year. So the again, I'm giving all these examples because these are the things which many of you may have. Feel free to reach out to us with your specific query so that we can give you the right guidance. Don't go by generic guidance. Yes, the generic guidance will help you for an initial one to start the exam, to select the papers. But please feel free to reach out for an individual counseling. We are glad to help. And the short answer here again is that there is no restriction. In fact, some of you with the technical experience, you could even end up in a perfect commercial role where your technical experience is more valuable. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Sumit, do you want to add anything? You mostly.
Yes, just to add to what Mr. Subramaniam said, there is no hard and fast rule that engineers can't be in commercial shipping or they can't do anything in on the commercial side. Yes, there might probably be this thought process in the market when you start seeking opportunities that engineering roles are more suited for guys that come from the engine background. But there is no hard and fast rule. Both the experiences, deck side as well as engine, will always help in some way or the other when you come to the office. So it's not like you're from the deck side or the engine side and only this role is specific only for you. The right kind of people will always value your experience. This is what I have realized in my few months in the office on the commercial shipping side. They will always value, and I would also like to put this across that maybe probably based on the number of people I have met, maybe 90 to 95% of the brokers are not from the sailing backgrounds. They are not having a shipping background, so they've come, probably been from in different industries, and then they've come into the industry and they do a wonderful job. And I feel that when we come in with our experience at sea, it definitely adds value, because I see personally a lot of times I'm asked questions about certain technical things on the ships that people are not aware of, and it is very easy for us, given our experience at sea, to make it clear to them or explain to them in detail that this is what it really means. So like I said, the right kind of people will always see you as a value addition to their team, and will be more than happy to take you in. So go ahead with a very positive mindset, and definitely ICS, for me at least, it has helped a lot, and I can already feel the difference. And I hope that whoever embarks on this journey with the ICS also has a similar story like I do today.
Amen to that. Let me now come and bring Captain Ashok. Okay, yeah, Captain Ashok, you
Uh, Gaurav, I would just like to add a personal experience much later when I started teaching in volume ship management. The very fact that volumes started commercial awareness for seafarers is because they wanted the whole ship, that being the whole full complement, the officers as well as the engineers, to be aware of what is happening commercially. I was invited over there, and being an ICS, I presented a slide. I prepared a slide. The presentation was almost about 70 or 80 slides. The engineers from the office in Hong Kong, they used to come to Bombay, and it was prepared. And the person who actually started it was an engineer himself. And at the bottom, at the end of it, we realized that engineers are very analytical in their thought process as compared to commercial. You know, commercial people, nothing against anybody, but the fact is this: commercial people definitely have a gray area. It can be yes, it can be no. But when it comes to engineering and technical side, it's either a yes or it is a no. So for them to understand it, it is very, very easy, you know, they understand it. And in my experience, the best commercial guys are the seafarers, you know, the best, you know, I mean, you deal with a whole lot of them. And like Sumeet was also saying, that what happens, they know everything which they had got from here and say, but you are the person who's on the ground reality, and your experience can take you miles, you know. So yes, that's all I wanted to share. So please go
excellent.
ahead.
Thank you so much. I'll have a follow-up question to you as well, and this question comes from Captain JJ Singh. There were a few more masters, Captain Saket, Captain Shantesh, and the question is, with master COC, can they directly take PQE, and um, what are the subjects that they could be exempted for, and the process for it? I know you touched it upon late in the slides, but if you could also share specifically for the master people with master COC.
Okay, so right, it's not only a master's qualification, it also is important that you, how many years of experience do you have after your master's ticket as a commander, you know. They decide that. In my time, it was a little, I mean, I was fortunate, I had to sit for 4 papers, But like they said, certain papers do not get exemptions. They don't get exemption. I think I showed you the list of papers. Shipping business, you have to do it. There's no choice out of it. Introduction to shipping, you can get an exemption. Now the call is straight away from the UK office. As a master mariner, can you sit for or can you clear? Yes, you can. Like if Sumeet could clear, I mean, I think we have been at sea much longer. It's totally a dedication and loyalty which you have towards the business, towards your work. The other thing is this: if you do feel a little unsure about certain subjects, like ship operations is very easy. I mean, I didn't even have to study by ship operations what's concerned. The terminology of chartering is important. So if you do feel that you are not getting, you're not covering the ground which you should, since the exams are coming, break it up. No, break it up. The end goal is to get a qualification. So sit for 3 papers and sit for 4. Exemptions, like I mentioned, it's the call from UK. They will decide. We have no say over it. That's it.
Right, sir. So typically, masters, as a master COC, you can directly sit for the PQE. Generally, you get one paper as exemption, but as Captain Gogia mentioned, it's the exemption comes from the from ICS UK. Captain Saket, I hope it answers your question. All Captain Saket, Captain JJ Singh, I hope that answers your question.
Thank
I've had one more question, and this is, and I'll again generalize it. There are people who have sat in the Narottam Morarji NMIS certificate course as well. And there are certain other people who probably would have sat in other similar courses. Now, where can they find out whether whatever they have appeared for qualifies for an exemption? And if so, which all exemption? How can they kind of find that out and then accordingly move forward? And so this is Amritansh has asked this, and there are a couple of more people who have asked this as well.
Okay. So you want me to answer?
Yes, sir. Please.
Okay. Now, let me tell you, Narottam Morarji course, because I have had students who were from Narottam Morarji, but they did want to do dry cargo chartering, some wanted to do tanker chartering. Now, one of the reasons why they wanted to do it, because they themselves felt that the teaching which was there at Narottam Morarji was very good. It's excellent because we have stalwarts in the industry who are teaching there, but it is very, very generic. Like, when they teach you about dry cargo, they teach you about port management, they teach you about tanker chartering. So it becomes difficult for you to, when you're filling up a job application, as to which area do you want to enter. Do you want to enter in the port management or dry cargo, wet cargo, sale and purchase? So when it comes to ICS, you are totally focused. You're focused. You've got at least, there are 10 chapters to each of the ICS books, and each chapter is about 15-20 pages. So you got almost 200 pages of knowledge of that particular subject. So when you are filling in a job application, you can go and tell them that I want to sit for sale and purchase. And I'll tell you honestly, one of my batchmates who is heading a sale and purchase company in Singapore started off, he did it masters, and he said, well, my life is going to be sale and purchase. He devoted his time on sale and purchase, and there he is. So the idea is this: you do get exemptions. Again, I would tell you, exemptions is a call from UK. Write to them, tell them this is what I have done. They have accepted it. They said that Narottam Morarji will get exemption, or they recognize that qualification. Write to them, number one. And number two, the difference between the two is one is a little generic in nature, and the other is type specific. In a maritime terminology, it's specific. So that's what it is.
Captain Gaurav, can I just add there regarding the exemptions? So answering both the questions there, let me answer Narottam Moraddy's first. So there are certain exemptions which are already pre-approved, and you can view them on the ics.org.uk website. So that's already there, and there is a file which shows India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan. So these are the list of universities. So Narottam Moraddy appears there, where if you do the fellowship, diploma in shipping management, you have exemption on introduction to shipping and economics of sea transport. So these are already pre-approved based on previous application from students or based on individual colleges who apply for exemptions. However, you have to take or apply for these exemptions within 7 years of passing these exams. The exemption can be granted only if you have passed this exam from any of these universities which is listed there within the last 7 years. Because there's a logic behind that whole thing. The second one is where you asked about master mariners. So currently the only exemption is introduction to shipping, where the individual would have to first register as a student, then apply for that exemption, and it is granted to them, right? The introduction to shipping. There was an earlier provision of where master mariners used to get 3 more exemptions, but which was withdrawn about 5 years back for various reasons. So as it stands today, master mariners would get exemption in introduction to shipping, but as Captain Ashok rightly mentioned, you have to first register as a student and then apply for that exemption. Captain Gaurav, you can share that link with everybody. It's there on the ics.org.uk.
Absolutely. So there is a file for it, and that shows that which all institutes and which course from a particular institute exempts a person for which all exams from ICS. So we'll share that with you. I'm not sure in this session, but later on we can share it with you. Rishabh, I'll come to you. Let me take a couple of more questions which are there on the chat window. And sir, there's a question from Captain Ankur, and this probably will be from many, but it's not probably come up. Is after ICS, can someone become a charterer? Can someone become a broker? I mean, these are questions which everyone has. Can someone become a broker? Can someone get into post-fix ops? Because that's the end goal for everyone. So maybe quickly, Captain Ashok and Krishnan sir, if you could, the mental makeup, the mental setup, how should that be when a person is applying, and what's the expectation that a person should have when they are sitting for these qualification examination, please? So, Captain Ashok, maybe first you, and then Krishnan sir.
Okay, see, is the question related to sitting for the exams, or is it related to becoming a broker after you clear the exams?
After you clear the exam, so basically people have expectation that they enter into commercial shipping. Not everyone can, as Sumeet also mentioned, but people may or may not. So the probability increases. But what is the mental makeup? How should people be approaching it? How should their expectation be? When they are sitting for the examination, but what will happen later on once they qualify for it?
Okay, so now the question is this: do they have any previous background in shipping, or they are graduates who wanted to sit for this kind of a qualification which will open avenues for a job? Now, if they have got experience in shipping, then obviously it's like we all know, it's a struggle even after that. It's not easy. There have to be openings. You have to go from door to door. You have to see where are the openings. How are you? What are you familiar with? Being a master mariner and having a qualification from ICS, maybe tanker chartering, what happens is that you know the practical aspect. Now, where commercial is concerned, be prepared to go into an office, learn the ropes from scratch, which also means that you will have to be, the struggle will also be, like you asked about the struggle, that you'll be answering to somebody who are younger than you, but they have been in the business for 10 or 15 years. So swallow that pill. You have to swallow that pill. That means you have to come to that level. That is for a person who is got some kind of practical shipping background, like similar to what Sumeet had. However, now come to a person who has got no background in shipping, but he's got the qualification he's holding, but he's interested. Now, in that case, depends what age he is, what is his acceptance to reality when he goes to an office. Is he willing to work at a level where he wants to gain knowledge and then he wants to go further? And that also, if he has got some responsibilities which he has to also cater to. So it's a little bit of a difficult situation to explain as to how you're going to go ahead, but you should be able to sustain yourself also through that period, through that period when you come to that. However, if you're determined, I was fortunate. Somebody came and told me, I've got cargo. Do you have a ship? And I went and told them there's somebody who's offering a ship. I don't have cargo. So it was little, I was a little fortunate it happened. But honestly speaking, just be prepared for hard work to face brickbats so that if you're determined to go through, you will go through.
Thanks, sir. Thank you so much. Krishna sir, would you want to add on to it?
Yeah, only thing I would like to add is that, see, chartering jobs, you have to always look at it from three different perspectives. One is the ship owner's office, the other is the charter's office, and the third is the broker's office. So like Sumeet has got into a broker's house, right? So that's also a chartering job, but he got into a broker's office. So you have to be, when you're looking for jobs, these are three different, though the term chartering may remain the same, the kind of competence may remain the same, the kind of expectation is different in all these three different stakeholders. So which requires additional preparation. And when you start looking for jobs, again, with respect to specific companies, again, ship owner is a very generic term. There could be owners, there could be operators, there could be pool operators. So I would be glad, Captain Ankur, that if you're the one who asked this question, that we could have a chat later on to find out where exactly you are today, what kind of experience you have, if you already have some sort of experience, and then what's your ultimate goal. So based on that, you should target the companies, and the preparation required for that would be different. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir. So yeah, I mean, at a generic level, we can answer it not as much, but it probably has to be answered in a more specific manner to each one of you, and we can support you over there. There's been another question which a few people have asked, which has come again and again, and I'll probably take questions from all of them. So number one is ebooks. Are any ebooks available, Krishnan sir, for this?
As we speak, it's not exactly a normal ebook format. However, the books have been digitized and they are available on, but along with the subscribed course, which is all directly from the head office, right? So printed books, yes, you can buy from the branch or through CNBR, who's a recognized partner now. That is possible. However, the digitized version of the book is available only if you subscribe to a tutorship program.
Right.
So that's the current difference. Yes, we are endeavoring and working towards making the book available on a standalone basis, which is not connected to a tutorship, but it may not happen immediately. Yeah.
Right, sir. Thank you. Now, in terms of the preparation process, first is the question papers, and that's been asked by Sunandan Grover directly to me. So, Sunandan, all the question papers are available on ICS website. However, if you would like to have any support, we can also provide you. We have downloaded all the question papers, so you can write to CNB. We can provide you. Of course, ICS Mumbai branch can also help you. Now, then the next question which is coming is preparation for these exams. And probably here Captain Ashok could help you in terms of how you could prepare for these exams as well.
Yes, there are certain new terminology, different subjects. So first you have to have sufficient time that you have planned to devote. And there are no shortcuts to it. You have to go into the complete detail, starting from the scratch, go through each and every chapter of the book if you get it, ask yourself questions, do the question papers, and like in the test, in the exam, you are going to have 8 questions. During my preparations, when I got these question papers, I used to, during the exam, you have to just do 5. But when I was preparing, I used to do all 8 of them and actually write them down, write them down so that then it is not difficult. 3 hours of writing is not, it's quite a task, So at least do these papers, be prepared for them, carry your notes with the phones, in everybody's hand. It's not so difficult. But yes, if you are devoted and you're dedicated, you will find your ways of doing it. It will not be difficult. You can do it. And that's like, especially for people who have done the COCs, they know how difficult it can be. And for people like if they're youngsters who are students, they already know the very fact that you're entering into it, you're probably prepared to devote that kind of time and do it. So everybody has their own ways of by which they memorize things, or they write them down, or they carry them with them. So preparing is a very, very individual thing, but everybody has to have the goal in mind. How you do it is by hard work and sincere dedication. Ask yourself questions. And honestly, the good thing which I want to tell you about ICS is every subject, every paper you do is connected to the other. Every paper you see. If the other day somebody asked me they want to do sale and purchase because I wanted to do it at one time, the first 3 or 4 chapters which are there, they're similar to what you would have in cargo operations or in shipping business. So it is not such a difficult thing. There are a lot of common areas which you can address. And if you're determined to do it, it's not difficult.
Thanks. Thank you, sir. Um,
Yeah,
any,
just to add on the preparation side, as you rightly mentioned, question papers should be one, but I also recommend to look at the syllabus. The syllabus is also available on the website. So don't go by just by the title of that paper, whether it is chartering or liner trade, because each person's experience or acumen towards that particular paper can be different. So look at the syllabus, look at the question paper, which will give you a fairly good idea about what is expected in these kind of papers. And then there are a couple of seminars which are planned for the students. Some of them may be free, some of them would be on a effort and paid basis, which will be done by the branch. There are a couple of free webinars which are done by other branches also. So be on the lookout for these, and do not restrict yourself to say that, okay, I'm not writing this paper now, is this relevant for me? Because the ICS papers are all structured in such a way that there is an interconnection between papers, between subjects. Just to give an example, topic of bills of lading. It may be appearing as a major one in, say, the legal principles paper, but it could be appearing in the chartering paper also, or even in port agency paper also from a different perspective. So therefore, if you can attend a seminar on bills of lading, even if you're not writing a particular paper now, it could become relevant for you in some other paper. So these are some of the immediate methodologies. And again, as Captain Ashok said, yes, if we can buy the books and then go through that in a very systematic manner, that definitely helps. And apart from that, what is important is knowing the current topics, because the ICS paper is about professional knowledge. And therefore, what happens in the world today is extremely important. So reading the shipping news, understanding how it impacts a particular business, For example, today one of the very important discussion in offices is that what happens if the Red Sea conflict stops. So these are the kind of scenario related questions which could come in an exam paper which doesn't have one single right answer. So there are certain questions in ICS which are theoretical, but there are a lot of questions which could have more than one right answer because it is based on your perspective, based on your particular area of expertise in a particular domain. Could be dry cargo, could be tanker, could be, say, project cargoes or ro. Hope that helps. Thank you.
Just one more thing, sir, can I add?
Please, Capt. Go ahead.
Okay, so what Krishnan sir just now mentioned, keep your ears to the ground, see what the reality is. Honestly, the final knowledge which you gain from whatever you study has to be applied. So is it happening around you? Just keep your ears to the ground and you come to know how. In my exams, what happened was there was tsunami, and like I mentioned in my presentation also, how did the shipping structure change totally because of the tsunami? So was there more shipping? Was it dry cargo shipping? Was it containerization? Was it tanker trade? What did countries do to make sure? So a lot of time, whenever there's a disaster, the shipping goes up. The shipping goes up. Or if there's any the political upset, like India was taking oil from the Gulf, or it was taking it from other countries, and then they started taking it from Russia. So these are the few things. If you write them down, the examiner can always make out that not only are you doing the academics, but you're applying it to the real shipping industry as well. That's it.
Thanks a lot, sir. Um, Sumit, would you like to add more to this
Um,
later
yes,
on?
Captain.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yes, Captain. So I was reading up in the chats, and people wanted to know the answer to the question whether it's worth quitting sailing, and how is the pay and everything. I think that the pay can vary, and it will always be proportionate, or what it is generally on the shore side, it will be proportionate to the experience you have had at sea. So do not expect that you just come with 2 3 years of experience, and you will start off on a very high pay. It's a struggle on this side as well, because if I have to put it this way, you are as good as a cadet when you come on the commercial side, because you haven't had the kind of experience. So you have to first prove yourself to the firm that you are capable of taking up this role, after which probably maybe the firm will trust you more, and be able to probably give you a rise in the future or something like that. And as far as quitting sailing is concerned, I always say this to people, all the people that write to me on LinkedIn, that it is a decision you have to make. Don't take this decision based on seeing someone who's taken the decision. Choose what suits you the best. Maybe you've gotten an ICS qualification today, but the opportunities that you're seeking in the market are not giving you the kind of remuneration that are as per your needs or requirements. Take your time. You don't necessarily have to switch ashore and then come down probably to a remuneration that is not going to suffice your requirements or your family's requirements, and wait for the right time and the right opportunity, and continue sailing as long as you wish to. And once you feel that, okay, now maybe I have built something for myself, and I can probably take a hit for a year or two to probably explore something on the commercial side of shipping, if there is not something that a company is offering will be to your requirements. Because as we all know, as seafarers, captains, and the top four officers have a very handsome remuneration on board. So if you expect that you come on the commercial side of shipping with no experience in commercial, and starting off maybe very high or at that level, it might probably not happen. So be aware of the ground realities as well before taking coming on this side. But I'm not saying that doesn't happen. And of course, if you have proven yourself after coming on this side, sky is the limit. There is literally no limit, and if as you become a successful broker, everyone who's been around in the industry for a long time knows the potential that commercial shipping has. It can catapult, it can take you places, really. That's what I would like to add. I
Thanks.
hope I
Thanks.
have answered that
Yeah,
well.
no, I think that that's always beneficial coming from a person who's a mariner who is transitioned ashore. So thanks for that, Sumit.
Welcome.
We'll take a couple of more questions. You already 2 hours, 10 minutes into the webinar, so maybe a couple of more questions. And I think one
Captain
good.
Gaurav, I saw a question regarding support for education and exams regarding is there any institute support? So I'd like to address that.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, so to answer that, yes, there is a global fund known as the Education Trust Fund, where you can submit your application. The form is available on the website. So Captain Gaurav, probably you can pull it out. There's a application form as well as a guidance. So that has to be submitted to the branch. The branch would do an initial round of discussion with the potential student just to ascertain that that there's a genuine request which has come for financial assistance. And then based on that, it is forwarded to the education fund trustees and they take the final call because we received that these kind of applications from various branches all over the world. And then based on the total fund allocation available for a particular quarter, the applications are processed. Thank you.
Right, sir. Thanks a lot. I think a very good question from Daryl as well. In terms of, Krishnan sir mentioned, Captain Ashok also mentioned that, we have to have our ears to the ground, know what's happening in the shipping. So what are the magazines? Where can a person subscribe to kind of be up to date with what's happening in shipping? Any particular things which you may want to recommend, please? Okay, Tradewinds
Yes.
one, of course.
Hellenic Times is there, which is there. You can. It's from Greece, and they are twice a week. They will send you information about what is happening in the shipping world. Then the next is Fernleys. Fernleys are one of the biggest shipping brokers in the world. They have their own site. Once you subscribe to them, every once a week they will send you the details of dry cargo, wet cargo, sale and purchase. SSY is there, Simpson, Spence and Young. They are there. Seascope is there. BIMCO is there. So just do a search on the shipping, commercial shippings, and you'll have a more information than you actually can absorb.
Right. No,
So,
thanks.
Captain, to add to that, there's one tab in the ics.org.uk, which is called reference websites, which lists down most of the sites which Captain just now mentioned and many more, which is linked to the sites which gives information on general shipping. But more than that, I would really suggest attending as many other webinars and conferences as possible, because that is the only place where you get direct information from the professionals. And of course, nothing like talking one-to-one to know more about a particular subject.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir, for that. Let me take the last question, and then maybe we'll see if we can have more time. So we've mostly talked about the benefits of ICS for people who are not into the commercial side of things, and how it helps us to get an entry. Now, if there is someone who's already within the commercial side, Weber is one of them, and he asked this question. How would ICS qualification be beneficial for that person? So, Krishnan sir, if you could help us on that, please.
One, of course, is to broaden your horizon. So again, give my own example. I started my career with Bharat Petroleum in terminal operations. Then 1 year in LPG planning, and then my first job in Dubai with Shell was on the container side. That's when I started looking at doing the ICS. And then, of course, I chose port agency and ship operations and management apart from tanker chartering. So one of the aspects is that it broadens, as Dave rightly mentioned, if you listen to him, is that you get to know the broader aspects of shipping by doing the different papers. So choice of paper is very, very important. It can be to deepen your knowledge in a particular subject where you already have an experience. For example, if you're working in dry cargo and you're choosing dry cargo paper, it deepens your expertise there. But there are professionals, working professionals, who want to step into a different kind of a domain other than what they are currently doing. So there also it helps them.
Right, sir. Thank you so much for that. All right. Rishabh has raised his hand and he's done it before as well. So Rishabh, over to you. You may ask your question, please.
Thank you, Captain Gaurav. Captain Gogia, thank you for this informative session. I'm actually appearing for two of the exams in May 25, and I would like to know what are the opportunities wherein I can apply for tutorship or I can get into group discussions, join a community so that it will help me better prepare for the examinations and have an edge.
Oh, the question is to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Rishabh, yes, you can always contact us. We can always, brief you on how you should go about doing your studies on subjects. And there's loads of information available. And for your specific subjects, also we can help you, study for your papers.
Right. So are these like in-person classes where I can visit the branch, or are there sessions that are conducted online where I can, register and?
Yes, so they are online. Most of the time they are online, but people, the online classes which can go up to 1.5 to 2 hours. However, people do want to have some questions. So yes, we are available, in attendance also. You can come to the ICS office or we can meet somewhere and we can discuss these things also. Like
Thank you so much.
Before the exams, or at least 2 or 3 weeks before the exams, we've had these classes where people do come, not exactly classes but interaction, because people have different subjects. There was one session which we had where we had somebody from dry cargo, the others were from multimodal transportation, so they wanted to clear their doubts. It's a doubt clearing session. Yes, they do come to the office. We've got enough room. You can sit down and we can discuss it out. No problems.
Right. Thank you so much, Captain Gogia.
Yeah.
So what we will do probably is we'll hold a free session maybe sometime next month, wherein we'll tell how do you prepare for the examination, and then maybe we'll have one paid group discussion as well. And as Captain Ashok said, if you write to the ICS branch, they'll also tell you. Just to add on to all those things, C and Beyond is also launching tutorship from India, wherein we will have online recorded videos, wherein whatever is written in the book, we'll summarize it and you can subscribe to that and have a look at all those courses. And then we will have group discussions and clarification sessions of that particular subject. We'll slowly and steadily launch these sessions, and maybe in the next 10 days, you'll have one on legal principles on our website, and then the other subjects coming in over a period of time. I think we're mostly done on the questions, but let me take one poll from all the for all the people who are still remaining. How many of you are keen to apply for ICS qualification, and how many of you are looking for support, tutorship for these examination? So what we will do is, those who are looking for support, we will of course write to you separately in terms of the initiatives that ICS Mumbai branch is taking for all of them, and you'll have more information. But do answer this poll. We might have time for one last question if anyone has, while people answer the poll, and otherwise we'll have one final feedback poll coming in, and then we'll end the session.
Actually, the fact that they have stayed over here, I think I can see there are how many, 53 of them. It obviously, does indicate that people are very keen in doing it. And we can see as for the poll also, they are keen on applying for an ICS qualifications. One thing I can vouch for, and that is they are all professionals over here. And you all have one way of going, and that is gaining all the knowledge which you can.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. I think good question from Jagpreet. And the exam centers outside Mumbai, sir. We've talked about Mumbai, but where are the exam centers outside Mumbai, please? And where could we find that out on the website?
Yeah, can I answer that, Captain Gaurav?
Please, sir.
So one is depending upon the number of candidates, you can apply. The individuals can indicate the exam center required in the application form. For example, if you are from Ahmedabad, right? So you can indicate that, and depending upon the number of candidates who are keen to take the exams in Ahmedabad, I'm just giving that as an example. The institute will arrange for a center if there are enough candidates. There's no real fixed number. It depends upon the total number of papers being appeared, how many candidates, over how many days, and based on that, a center will be arranged. So nothing stops you from asking for a center anywhere in India. And even if you are moving from one place to another, by the time the exam is happening, you have an option within a specified time limit. You have the option to change your exam center.
Right, sir. Thanks for that. That's really helpful. So, so there is essentially what sir is saying is that even if you don't find an examination center anywhere on the website or through a certain branch, write to the branch, or maybe to the ICS, or maybe to us also, because we are now the recognized partner of ICS, and we will try and maybe coordinate and arrange an examination center for you. And that's essentially the summary of what sir said. I'm going to end the poll. 80% have answered, and let me just share as what Captain Ashok said. Most of you, all of you stayed for 2.5 hours. So yeah, 76% of you are looking to apply, and 71% of you are looking for support in the examination. So we will share you more information in terms of the support we can provide. Coming to the last question is a feedback question, wherein we've come here with a certain expectation, spend this much time with us. I wanted to understand if your expectations were met, unmet, exceeded. Was the session useful? How would you rate the session? And more than happy if you would write about any improvements that you may like from us, any new things which we would have done in this session, or anything which we shouldn't have done. So feel free to write that so that we are able to improve ourselves in the next sessions as such.
One thing I would like to add, and that is everybody who's interested in ICS, please go through the ICS website in detail. They have mentioned a whole lot of issues which you have probably not even thought of. They've got videos over there. People like you who initially started off, changed their profession, everything is there. I've been through the website, and I think it is one of the very good informative websites which you can have a look at.
Right, we've got 75% of you who have answered, and I'm glad everyone found the session useful. Your expectations were met or exceeded, and you've given us good ratings as well. So thanks everyone for giving the feedback. I think that's pretty much from our side. like to thank Krishnan sir, Captain Ashok, Sumit, Dev for coming here, giving it back to the industry, guiding, helping all of the participants here in terms of the next steps, the assistance that ICS does, how can they go about kind of writing the exams and in their career as such. So thank you so much to all of you, to the presenters, and of course to all the participants who have been here till now. And all the best. We will be sharing the YouTube link for this video as well, and the presentation to you as well. So thank you everyone for your time, please.
Thank you.
Thanks, Captain Gaurav. Thanks, Captain Ashok. Well done. And looking forward to further interaction with the prospective students. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.